tightened. I was nervous enough that my hands trembled, the cake nearly tumbling to the floor. Probably not, I'll be leaving soon. I have to sample some new products. New products? Jace snorted. Even working through the holidays, guess we should hand you a medal or something. I just thought, it's fine. Asher cut in, voice sharp. Might be better if Kaya stayed away a while. Wouldn't want Sylvie getting pushed into another pool. The air went cold, they didn't know. This little trip of mine was permanent or I'd be gone in a week, with no forwarding address and no intention of looking back. Well, if you're leaving, Asher said coolly, turning back toward his plate. Do you mind if Sylvie moves into your old room at the mansion? I looked at him, there was no affection in that stare, just a formality like he was speaking to a stranger. Jace chimed in again, eyes glinting. She was always petty about sharing her room with Sylvie. It's fine, I said, she can have it, I'll clear my things out tomorrow. All three brothers looked at me then like I'd grown a second head because I'd never agreed before, not once, and they'd resented me for it. If Sylvie couldn't have my room, their golden girl had to settle for the guest suite. Asher narrowed his eyes. Don't agree to things that you will change your mind about it later. Kaya, I'm not, I said quietly. I've just come to terms with a few things. It's better if Sylvie takes my room, that way you can all take care of her properly. Asher's lips curled into a frosty smile. Jace rolled his eyes. Noah stayed silent, staring down at his untouched fork. The rest of the evening slipped by in a blur. Sylvie announced she was tired. That was my cue. I picked up my purse, stood, and gave them one last look. For a second, just one, I felt the sadness I'd been holding down for years crack open inside me. Once I'd belonged here, I'd been cherished, loved, held. Now I was just a guest, one who'd overstayed her welcome. Bye, I said. None of them replied. Kaya's POV. Outside, the city streets were glittering with holiday cheer. Couples held hands, kids carried candy canes, every passerby seemed to be heading home. That word didn't mean much to me anymore. I kept walking, no destination, just moving. Somehow my thoughts drifted back to that night when the call came about our parents' plane crash, routine business trip gone. I'd cried myself to sleep on the living room floor. When I woke, all three of my brothers were curled around me like a fortress. Asher, brave and gentle, had held me tight and whispered, "Don't worry, Kaya, you still have us. You're never alone." I wondered if that version of Asher would even recognize himself now, the sister he'd once sworn to protect. He'd thrown her out like she never mattered. 1 week, that's all I had left, then I'd be gone. I hope my brothers can be happy about it. It was not like they wanted me to be her anymore. I was always the smart one, top of my class, genius level in chemistry and physics, while my classmates lined up for jobs at Fortune 500s. I didn't bother. I went home. The Renner family business didn't exactly make Forbes lists. We dealt in drugs, the kind that didn't come with a prescription, and me? I was the youngest chemist in our entire operation. My job was simple: develop new products that could flood the market and rake in the cash. My brothers never saw the value. To them, being a chemist was a support role. The muscle, the deals, the money laundering, that's what really mattered. What good were formulas if no one was moving the product? They never understood that without me there'd be nothing to sell. But I had one foot out the door, and a week left to tie up loose ends. That meant finishing the final product tests in the lab. I buried myself in formulas, flasks, determined to leave with my work complete. By the time I peeled off my gloves and left the lab, it was well past midnight. Then I remembered I still hadn't cleared out my old room at the mansion. I hadn't lived there for years, but I'd never officially moved out either. My things were still tucked away in drawers and closets. I slipped into the house like a ghost, taking the back stairs up toward my room. "You look more like a thief than someone who used to live here," came Asher's voice, low and flat behind me. I turned. "Sorry," I said. "I'm just here to clear out my stuff." He folded his arms, staring hard. "You said the other day you were heading trace of me gone. Even the little pencil marks carved into